Hi everyone, welcome to chair yoga today. So we're going to get started in just a minute. I had to do some troubleshooting, but the scheduled event that I was going to do wasn't working. So now I'm just going live on a new post. So I hope you're able to join me for a few minutes or a full hour for some chair yoga. So go ahead and get settled. If you have a chair, it could be a couch, an office chair, a dining room chair, or you could also do this seated on the ground if you want to sit on a cushion or a pillow. You can definitely do that as well. I'll just wait a couple more minutes. Okay. Hi. So I'm just waiting to see if a few more people join. And I just posted in a comment in the post on the Corktown Health Center Facebook page, the URL to find this video. We'll wait a couple more minutes and then get started. So we're going to get started in just a couple of minutes with some chair yoga. All right, so it looks like some other people are joining us. Great. So I was just saying, get comfortable with a seat, and it could be a dining room chair, an office chair, you could sit on your couch, you could also sit on the floor if that's comfortable for you. You could sit perhaps on a pillow or a cushion. All right. And feel free to take a moment to get settled. And think about sitting near the front of your chair rather than leaning back, but sitting up tall. And we'll just wait just a moment or two more to get started. And today we're going to do something seated, but also something standing. So if you can, get some space around you so that you can stand up and move around. So if there's something really close to you, if you're able to move it out of the way. It would also be helpful to take off socks for some of the things we're going to be doing today so you're not slipping on the floor. Okay, so let's take a moment to just settle in. You could close your eyes if you want, or you might begin to just soften your gaze. Tuning in to how your energy is today. How are you feeling? If you're feeling kind of anxious or jittery, perhaps you bring your palms face down on your legs to think about grounding. So encouraging downward moving energy to help settle you, to help you ground. If you're feeling kind of tired and sluggish today, perhaps you bring your palms face up on your legs. And you can think about inviting in more energy. So energy is moving upward, helping to energize you. So just seeing what you need in this moment. Checking in with your thoughts, your emotions. And there's no right or wrong. Whatever you're feeling is valid. Just recognizing what's going on with you today. Checking in with your body. Notice where there might be areas of tightness or tension. Also noticing where there might be areas that feel relaxed. So we often go to the places that feel tight or hurt, but also notice that there's places that feel soft or relaxed. And there could also be places in your body that feel neutral, that don't feel a lot of sensation. So perhaps I use this example a lot, thinking about your earlobes, right? That could be an area that you just don't think about, you don't feel a lot of sensation there. So just taking a moment to bring your attention to some of those different areas, the tip of your nose, your fingertips, And for each person that could be different, right? If you just hurt your finger, maybe your fingertip does hurt. And just notice your natural breath. Take a few moments here to follow your breath in and out. So we're just working with a technique called the 3-minute breathing space here. And we're moving into the second part, focusing on our breath. The first part, we just checked in overall with how we were doing, how our body was feeling, how our emotions were. And now we're checking in with our breath. And see if there's any spots where you might feel your breath, you might notice it. Could be at the nostrils, air coming in and out. Could be at your chest or your belly. And there's no right or wrong, just observe. It's also okay if it's hard to feel your breath. So we'll take a few more breaths here just with our natural breath. And now we'll begin to think about expanding our breath. And you could do this with your eyes open or closed. You might visualize the breath moving through all parts of your body. So you might visualize air coming in and out of the lungs, but also the energy from your breath moving all the way down your legs to your toes, all the way down your arms, to your fingertips, up to the top of your head. Letting fresh breath and energy invigorate you, activate you. Thinking about breathing your whole body. And now I invite you to place one hand on your belly and one on your chest. Stay seated, but I'm just going to come a little closer. Good. And see if you can notice some slight movement under your hands as you might begin to deepen your breath. So I'll just turn to the side so you can see, and I'll exaggerate a little bit, but it doesn't have to be a big movement. But think about as you're inhaling, your chest and belly rising, and then as you exhale, they fall slightly. So you might notice this slight movement under your hands. You're not forcing anything and not worrying if you're not really feeling any movement. It takes practice. And with time, it'll get easier to think about breathing and feel the breathing with your full lung capacity. So getting what's sometimes called belly breaths or abdominal breathing, diaphragmatic breathing. And we're not actually breathing with our belly, we're breathing with our lungs. But as we really fill the lungs, we'll notice some movement in our belly as well. So often, especially if we're feeling anxious, we might just breathe shallowly with the chest, and there might not be a lot of movement. But as we begin to focus on a deeper, longer, smoother breath, we can begin to notice even just some slight movements, and that's fine. And again, it takes practice and time. So I invite you now to place both hands over your heart. And again, eyes could be soft or closed, just for this intro meditation. And take a moment to tune in to what your heart is telling you. What is your inner guide, your inner teacher telling you? And I offer this short mantra. With great respect and love, I honor my heart, my inner teacher. So a mantra is a phrase that we can repeat to ourselves. So you might repeat that to yourself again if it resonates with you. With great respect and love, I honor my heart, my inner teacher. And then see what might come up for you. See if there's anything that your heart needs. So we're taking some time now to set an intention. set something that you want to focus on for the next hour and for the rest of your day. And when you feel ready, begin to release your hands down if your eyes were closed. Begin to open them. Hi everyone, it's great to see you. And we'll see your comments. And we're going to do some movement now. We're going to add some movement in with our breath. And we'll start seated and then we'll do some things standing. So continuing to work with the deep, even breath. With your next exhale, drop your right ear down towards your right shoulder. I'll mirror you. And then come up to center with your inhale. With your exhale, go the other direction. Take a couple of breaths here. Breathing into the side of your neck, feeling that gentle stretch. Lift your head. And now inhale and turn your gaze over to the right. And then exhale over to the left. And just continue to move with your breath. Inhaling right. Exhaling left. Trying to keep your chin level so your chin is parallel with the ground. Do one more on each side. And then we'll come back to center. And then we'll begin to move our head up and down. And just a couple of comments with this before we begin the movement is when you lift your gaze, try to keep the back of your neck long, okay, rather than crunching the back of the neck. So you don't have to lift the gaze very much. We're going to inhale and lift our chin now and lift our eyes up, open our throat, but again, keep the back of the neck long. Exhale, bring your chin to your chest. And follow this movement with your breath. So breath and movement are connecting. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, dropping the chin to your chest. Just moving with the head to start. We'll do one more with just the head. And then after your next exhale, we'll inhale and lift the gaze and sweep our arms back as well. We'll bring our whole spine into it. We'll bring our chest forward. Palms reach back. Exhale, round, like you're hugging someone or holding a big beach ball. Drop your chin to your chest. Inhale, push your palms back. Reach back, shoulders down and back. Exhale, palms turn forward. Hold an imaginary beach ball, draw your navel in. And just do this a few more times on your own. Moving slow and gentle. Connecting with your breath. So this is a seated cat and cow variation. And then the next time after you exhale, take your time, just come back to bring your arms down and sit tall. So let's work a little bit with the face and the jaw because that's a place that we often hold tension. So I'll come a little closer just so you can see me better, but you can stay seated. So I'd like us to do a little bit of self-face massage. So I invite you to take your first two fingers of either hand and bring them between your eyebrows and just put some gentle pressure and begin to do one direction of circles and then switch and do a few circles the other way. And then bring your thumbs to that same point and then press gently, and then trace your eyebrows and come to your temples with the pads of your thumbs rather than the tips. And then just do some gentle circles here. And then the other direction. So you can choose how much pressure you want to apply, how much feels good for you. And then slowly move down to your jaw and do the same thing. A few circles in one direction, and then the other. Good. And then release the hands down. And we'll just do some circles with the jaw, just gently opening the mouth. And then move your bottom jaw in one direction. Looks kind of silly, but have fun with it. And then the other direction. So we often tend to clench our jaws, hold tension at our temples and our forehead. So we're just doing some gentle movements to help relax and soften the face. Okay, so now we're going to do one more thing seated, and then we'll come to standing. So let's do some shoulder rolls, inhaling up and exhaling down the back. This is another area we often hold tension. And then if you want, you can switch the directions where you inhale up and exhale, come forward and down. And I like to add a few extra going back because I tend to round forward a lot. So I know I need to open my chest more. And then from here, we're going to inhale our arms up, exhale our right arm down and reach over with the left. And your hand can reach to the seat of the chair or somewhere down the chair. Could gaze up with the top hand. Or you could gaze down, whatever's best on your neck. And then when you feel ready with your next inhale, let your right arm come up. And you might lift your gaze and your chest a little bit here. And then with your exhale, go to the other side. Taking a side stretch here. And again, explore where you want your neck. Could be up or down. And then you can think about relaxing your shoulders here. And if your top arm is rolling forward, thinking about rolling it gently back. And then inhaling, coming up. And again, you might take a slight back bend here by lifting your chest and your gaze. Your arms can always come farther apart if that's better on your shoulders. And then exhale when you're ready, your hands down to your knees. Good. So now we're going to come up to standing. And just make sure that you have some space to move your arms out to the sides and up overhead, that you won't hit anything, okay? So we're going to start with working with the breath here a little bit differently. So we've been breathing in and out through our nose. We're just going to take a moment to do that for maybe 2 or 3 more breaths as we find stability in mountain pose, and then we're going to change it up. So just having your feet about hip distance apart, weight even between the balls and the heels of the feet, and thinking about turning your palms outward a little bit, shoulders relaxed. So you're feeling your shoulders come together on your back. And then from here, we're going to inhale our arms up and exhale, sigh it out as you bring your arms down. Doing this a couple more times, inhaling up and exhaling down. One more time, inhaling up and exhaling down. And then just letting your arms relax by your sides. Next, we're going to do a side stretch. So we did one seated, so now we're going to try it standing and see how it feels. And with the option to fold forward. So once we do the side stretch, we'll fold forward, and if you want, you can have your chair in front of you, so when you fold, your hands could rest on your chair. Or you don't have to use it, you could rest your hands somewhere on your legs if that's better. Okay? So when you're ready, we'll inhale our arms up. We'll bring our right arm down by our side and reach over with our left, taking a side stretch here, taking a couple breaths. Inhale, come up through center. Gazing up, exhale to the other side. Inhale up through center, and exhale, fold and sigh out. Hands come to your legs, the ground, a chair. Your knees can be a little bit bent here, especially if your hamstrings are tight. Taking a couple of breaths just to fold in as much as comfortable. So if you're taking care of your low back, if you have any injuries there or pain, you might just come halfway down using your chair seat for support. If your back feels okay and you're able to, you could fold deeper. And again, you can bend your knees if you need to. Take one more breath here. And then we're all going to come up halfway. So your hands might be on your shins, your thighs, or the chair seat where you're making what we call a flat back. So the spine is nice and long. And then from here, begin to bring your hands to your hips. And with a long spine, using your core strength, begin to lift up. Good. So we're going to keep going with that. We're going to add something on. So we'll do the side stretch again. We'll exhale and we'll fold. We'll exhale through our mouth. And then we're going to do a twist. So it could be helpful to have a chair in front of you or a yoga block. If you want something lower than the chair, you could use a yoga block or a low table, something like that. So again, we'll inhale our arms up. We'll exhale our right arm down, reach over with the left. You could gaze up, down, whatever is comfortable for your neck. Inhale, come up through center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, up through center. Slight back bend, and then exhale, sigh and fold. Coming down to the ground, your shins, the chair seat, a block, whatever is comfortable. And then we'll all come about halfway up. So again, hands could be on your chair seat, your shins, a block. And you're going to bring your left hand to the center of the chair. Make sure your chair is stable. If you're using a chair with wheels, you probably want to use something else because you don't want the chair to roll away. So you could use a low table, a yoga block, something else. And your left hand is on the center of a stable surface, and you're going to inhale and lift your right arm up into a twist. And you can follow your gaze to your arms. So your gaze comes up. And your knees can be soft here. And then exhale, bring your right hand down. Bring that to the center of your chair. And it can be helpful to bend the same knee of the arm that's down. So bending your right knee a little bit here. Inhaling, lifting the left arm. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. You can gaze up at your top hand or have your gaze to the side. And then exhale, come down. Fold in for one more moment if that's okay. You can always stop early or take a break. And then come up halfway. Bring your hands to your hips, keeping your knees a little bit soft so they're not locking, and then long spine, lift up. So you're using your core strength to draw in to lift you up. So let's just shake out the legs a little bit here since we've been standing in one place. Maybe even feels good to shake out the arms, kind of loosen it up. And we'll do some more flowing breath now. So we're going to do what's called breath of joy, which is a really fun breath. It's energizing. So if you're feeling very high anxiety at the moment or really angry, really upset, I would advise skipping this because it doesn't activate us. This is great to do if you're feeling low energy or down. It can also help with general kind of stress release because we're going to exhale through the mouth like we've done before, but there's a little more arm movement. So this is one where we definitely want space around us and we're not going to hit anything. So I'll demonstrate it first. You can watch me and then you can try it along with me. So the inhale is 3 parts. It's more forceful than what we've been doing. It's what I call more of a sniffing breath, very technical term. So it's an inhale, inhale, inhale. It sounds like, so you're inhaling 1/3 of the way, 2/3 of the way, and then fully. And then the exhale is a sigh out through the mouth, a big like we've been doing. And then we'll do coordinated arm movements with the breath. So the inhales will be the arms out in front of us, then the arms out to the side, and then the arms up. And then the exhale, 2 options. One is to fold forward and sweep the arms back as you exhale through your mouth. Or the other version is to just exhale and bring your arms down and not fold. So that version can be good if you're taking care of your low back, or if you tend to get dizzy and don't like to go up and down, just do that version. So I'll put it all together now for you and show you. So it's a inhale, 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 exhale, or inhale, 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 exhale. And it'll look like, or so let's try it together now. So finding a comfortable stance, you might even widen your stance a little bit wider than what we've been doing for mountain. Your knees are soft, especially if you're gonna fold. If at any time you get dizzy, slowly come up to standing and find something on the wall up in front of you, like above your screen that's not moving, to focus your gaze. So you can go at the pace I'm going, you could go a little slower, you could go a little faster, and again, you could stop at any time if you need to. So let's begin. Again, you could fold if you want, or not. Think about with your exhales, releasing any tension from your body. Couple more. With your inhales, bringing in fresh energy. Last one. And then come up all the way with your arms overhead. Hold your breath for a moment. And then exhale your hands down. Bringing your feet back underneath your hips. Feeling strong and stable like a mountain. Come back to the deep, even breath in and out through your nose. So it's normal for that one to feel a little more tingly, a little more awake, energy moving upward. Again, that's called breath of joy. So now we're going to work a little bit with balance. Make sure you have space overhead, and again, space out to the sides. And we'll start in mountain where our feet are about hip distance apart. And then what I'm going to invite you to do, I'm just moving back so you might be able to see my feet, is to lift up on your toes. And as you do this, lift your arms as you inhale. Exhale, sweep your arms down and bring your heels down. So inhale, lift up on your toes, arms up. Exhale, lower, slowly with control. And you don't have to lift up a lot. So going on your own now, notice if you tend to roll towards the outside edge of your foot, towards the pinky toes, or towards inside, towards your big toes, and see if you can even that out. So the weight is even on all of the toes. We don't want to roll our ankles. So if you're feeling really unsteady, you can just lift up a tiny bit. That's okay. Or you could skip lifting the heels and just do the arms. Do 2 more. Feeling the leg muscles engage and fire up here. Breathing into the shoulders as well. And then find mountain again. Steady, heels rooted down. And taking a moment, shaking it out. So now we're going to use our chair for a standing balance pose. And you might also want to have a wall handy or another surface handy for your balance, because we're going to come to balancing on one leg. We're going to start with the weight on our left leg, and we're going to begin to lift our right foot back. So we're lifting the foot towards the seat of the chair. Now, if it's available for you, you could rest the top of your foot on the seat of the chair. I have my other arm, my left arm, on the wall. Another option is you could reach for your foot and hold your foot. But if that doesn't feel available, rest it on the seat of the chair. Or if your chair has a rung, you could rest it there. Again, if you're using a chair with wheels, I don't recommend using the chair because it might roll away. Think about a steady surface. So another one could be a block, a yoga block, where you rest the top of your foot on a yoga block. So you could stay here. You could explore lifting your left arm up away from a support. If you can reach your foot, you might think about kicking your leg back and leaning your torso forward. Try to keep your knee down wherever it is, rather than reaching out to the side. The knee is pointing down. And this is dancer pose. Finding something in front of you that's not moving, that will help with your balance. When you feel ready, slowly coming back up. If your foot is on the chair seat, very gently moving it off. And then shaking out the legs. And then we'll move to the other side. So I'm just going to turn around so you can see me on the other side. So the weight now is going to come into our right leg. That's our standing leg. Our left leg is going to come behind us. The left foot could rest on the chair seat, the rung of the chair, a block or other support, something not moving. And you can hold on to the wall with your right hand or a table or something else. You could also explore reaching for your foot. Now, if you're feeling straining to do that, or you can't keep your steady breath, just let the foot rest on a surface. And you could always do it with just toes on the ground as well, just toes back. Then from here, you might explore lifting your right arm, feeling strong and steady through your standing right leg. And then you could begin to lean forward, finding your gaze on something that's not moving. Your left hand can just stay on your hip, or it might reach for your foot. Kicking the foot back, knee down. Taking a couple of breaths here. You can come out at any time or adjust. When you feel ready, slowly transitioning the leg down to the ground and just shaking it out. So that pose, dancer pose, is really nice if you've been sitting a lot. So if you're at home and have been sitting on the couch or sitting in front of a computer a lot, it really opens the front of the body and it stretches the quad and the psoas and the hip flexors in the front of the body. So let's do a couple more things standing and then we'll come to seated. So now I'm going to show an option that can be done with the back of your chair or the wall, if you have a wall handy. And again, I don't recommend this if you have a rolling chair. Use the wall instead. I'll show that in a second. We're going to do down dog using the chair, where we walk away from the chair and lengthen our spine, and we can soften our knees a little. Our feet are at least hip distance apart. We can be wider. And our head can hang between our arms, pushing your hips back. So doing this on the wall, you would bring your hands, they could be a little higher than shoulder height or about at shoulder height, up to you. And then you walk away from the wall and push your hips back, lengthen your spine. Breathe into your shoulders. So up to you, come into either version, take a few breaths here, lengthening your spine. And then slowly lifting your gaze, lifting up. I'm going to show another version that can be done, another pose either on the wall or with the chair. And this should be done with a chair that's not moving. This time we're going to turn the chair so the seat of it is facing us. And we want to make sure, even if our chair doesn't have wheels, that it won't slide easily on the floor. So you could even use a table or brace your chair. I'm going to brace my chair against this bookshelf here so it won't slide. And if it does feel like it's sliding around, just hold on and I'll show another version. So we're going to come into a plank using the chair seat where I'm on the balls and toes of my feet and I'm keeping my hips lifted and I'm holding on to the edges of my chair. My neck is long, my heels are reaching back. So I'm really feeling this in my core. So if that doesn't feel stable for your chair or it bothers your wrists or your shoulders, try it on the wall where your hands come about shoulder height, shoulder width apart. And then you're just thinking about pressing on the wall and almost like you could press it apart and just thinking about engaging your core and growing tall. So less pressure is going on your wrists and your shoulders here, but you can still activate this. And then from here, if you were in on the chair, maybe you come up, take a break for a moment. I'm going to show something else you can do. If you feel stable, you can inhale here in plank, exhale your knee in towards your chest. Inhale, bring that foot down, exhale the other side. And you can do that a few times, going side to side. You can also do this at the wall. Inhale here, exhale, right knee into your chest. Inhale, bring it down. Exhale, left side. So just going a few more times on your own. Good. And then from here, coming back up to standing, we're just going to find the back of our chair, walk away from it a little bit. I'll turn to the side so you can see me. Walk away from your chair a little bit and take a slight back bend here, lifting your heart and lifting your gaze, trying to keep your shoulders relaxed. And then slowly bring your gaze forward again. Release the chair. If it feels good to do some more shoulder rolls, feel free. And we'll come back down to seated. So we'll just take a few moments just to settle in. So we did a little bit of intense work there at the end with the plank pose, firing up our arms and our core. So just settling back down. If you have some space in front of you, I invite you, if it feels okay in your back, to take a seated forward fold by inhaling your arms up and exhale your hands to your knees. Begin to fold. And then optionally, you could walk your hands down your shins and round over your legs. But if that bothers your back, or you don't have the space, you could just stay more halfway up, like I'm doing. So this is very calming, bringing the energy back down. So if you're ever feeling overwhelmed throughout your day, you have a few moments just to take a seated forward fold like this, or you could do one along the floor, your legs stretched out in front of you. Slowly begin to come up, lifting up vertebrae by vertebrae until your head comes up slowly. Good. And then from here, just checking in with your body, your breath, your mind, just like we did at the beginning. Seeing what you need. And if there's any last movements that are calling to you for your body, feel free to take them. You could do a twist, you could stretch your legs out in front of you, or you could do more shoulder rolls, whatever might feel good. And we'll just end with a couple of minutes in a short meditation. So I invite you again to think about how your energy is now and what you might need for the rest of your afternoon. So again, your palms could come up or down. And as you begin to wind down any movements, thinking about what you need, and you might close your eyes or softly gaze down at the ground, turning your palms up for more energy, down for more calm and grounding. Sitting up nice and tall, but relaxing the face, the shoulders, the jaw. Notice your breath, follow it in and out. It could be helpful to exhale through the mouth again a couple of times, especially as we wrap up. So thinking about inhaling through the nose, exhale, sighing it out. Imagine any last tension releasing from your body. Any last stress from your morning, letting it go one more time. Feeling strong, stable, at peace. And ready for the rest of your day. Bringing your hands to heart center, or you could bring your hands over your heart like we did at the beginning. Repeat your intention. Thinking about releasing your intention out into the rest of your day. And then bring your hands to heart center if they're not already there. And we'll end with the word Namaste, which translates as the light within me bows to and honors that same light within you. So Namaste. Thank you. Thanks everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and you can find out more about me, Caitlin Brown, and Mindful Detroit at mindfuldetroit.com. Thanks.